Pleasure is not accidental, especially in the spotlight.
Hello and welcome to Pleasure, Power and Platforms. My name is Liza Chima Akweini. Today I'm talking about how play kills pressure. I know you're most likely used to the opposite of it, how to get yourself out of pressure, how to not burn out, how to not be under pressure, how to not be over pressure. There's all the conversation around pressure that we forget. We forget the tiny, pleasurable, everyday things that can actually eliminate pressure. And one of those things that you need to pay attention to is play. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about play, but we reference particularly to laughter. You don't just want to play, you want play that makes you happy, play that makes you laugh. Okay? A lot of times we focus on success as if we got successful by wanting to be successful. Hear me out. I know you became successful because you had measurable goals, smart goals, and you followed them through and through. But there was a point before you began, after you began, where you did connect to the enjoyment of what you do. So if you were someone who had pressure from the beginning, say you were a child celebrity, your parents began to build your celebrity profile before you even had a sense of direction. So you grew up with the pressure of your work, but at some point you must have connected to the pleasure of it, the play of it, the enjoyment of it. Or you have met other people who seem to do the same thing you do, but they did it with more ease and more calmness, and they had more flow in the way they moved, more rhythm than you do. It begs the question of what are they doing differently? Okay? One of the things that makes us better at creativity is the ability to not tie things to them. And when I say tie things, I mean our reputation, our value. Or if I can release the song, then I'm going to get an award. Then they're going to respect me in the industry. Then I'm going to be a better person. When you tie that kind of responsibility on your art, for example, what happens is that you create with so much rigidity that people who know art, when they consume you, they can tell that there's a certain measure of forcefulness to what you've done. And so you don't even you don't get the value you were expecting because they listen and they think, there's something here. But you also get to lose yourself when you do things like that. So what do? You need to create with presence, okay? So if you were someone who didn't have the pressure of your parents, meaning you were not a child celebrity, you did something that you loved, and then you went from there and you blew, like they say, whichever one works for you. If that was what happened, then you have a memory. If you are in this category B, what you're trying to get back is a memory. If you are in category A, what you're trying to get is a goal. So play has to become a goal. If you're someone who used to have play and enjoyment and you lost it, play is a memory you want to get. In which case, I want you to ask yourself this question. What do I feel like when I enjoy something? When you used to enjoy it, how did it feel? Can you remember the feeling? If you can just sit for 3 minutes, I want you to just sit down and try to capture the memory. What does it feel like? What did it used to feel like? If you're someone who has never enjoyed what you do, you don't have memory of excitement around what you do, but you know this thing you do, you're good at it naturally. It's not something that you were forced to learn. It's something that comes to you naturally, or it's something you've trained yourself at. Can you imagine what it would look like if you enjoy it? If you enjoy it, what happens is that it doesn't feel like tight wrists. I don't know if you've ever gone to the gym after not going to the gym for, say, 6 months to a year. The first time you pick up a dumbbell, it feels terrible. Your hands don't have control. You're not holding the dumbbell right, but at the same time, your hands feel too hard. They feel too rigid. You don't seem to have control. It doesn't make sense. It's like you're losing control and overly controlling at the same time. That's what happens when you do something without knowledge and without enjoyment. In your case, you have expertise. So all you need is to be present enough to enjoy it. And so how do you do that? You introduce play to the situation. I know you have goals and I know you have a timeline and I know you have limits, but I want you to give yourself 15 minutes of doing the same thing you do every day. The same thing that has goals, the same thing your manager is waiting for feedback for, the same thing your boss is waiting for, the same thing your business needs to thrive. I need you to do it for 15 minutes every day without the goal, without looking at the goal. What it will do is that it will start to expand how you show up for that thing. You will start to introduce a certain looseness to how you handle it. You don't have, you will not step into 1 hour of enjoyment today, sorry. Play is a muscle you work. When you sit around kids who are between the ages of 2 to 7, you sometimes question what you're doing with your life at whatever age you are in. Those kids would somersault and you're wondering, do they know bones break? They would tumble, they would play, and you're wondering what's going on. They don't even pay any bills. They don't know how much medical bills are. They don't care. They don't know. They're simply in the play, in the moment. I want you to be in the play and I want you to be in the moment. Don't wonder if it's good enough for just 15 minutes. That's all I'm asking. Just 15 minutes of being present with what you're doing and have fun with it. If you're dancing, dance, throw your hips a bit more. If you're cooking, cook a bit more theatrically if that is what you've been wanting to try out. If you're a business person, go develop your business plan on a vacation or something. Don't do it in your brown office. Don't just do it at your desk. I know you need your desk for discipline, but give yourself the opportunity to have some play introduced into it. Now, if what you do is something you cannot play around because maybe you have heavy legal contracts, NDAs, and they don't allow you to engage or do anything else outside of it, find something that allows you to reconnect with your playful side. Art is a fantastic thing for that. As a therapist, I do talk therapy all the time and it works. But I have found out that expressive art therapy does miracle for my clients. So instead of just talking through the situation and using all the CBTs and all the REBT techniques I could use, sometimes I ask my clients to go for dance. Go do some salsa, come back and give me feedback. Try some bachata, come back and give me feedback. Go have some spa therapy, give me feedback. Try playing with mud, try mud play, see see the result that gives you. Try some music. I know you're not a singer, but sing above your voice, a song you've always loved. Sing it in your house, sing it at the top of your lungs. There's a loosening in your chest where you're just allowed to be silly. If you don't have the space to play, it's very likely difficult that you also will not allow other people play around you. Which means if you were to even get into the romantic dreams of the romantic relationship of your dreams, you're going to stifle your partner's joy. You cannot be fighting pressure and fighting play at the same time. You have to choose. If you choose play, play will eliminate pressure. If you focus on the pressure will eliminate play from your life. I want you to have enjoyment. I want you to be humanized. I want you to have fun. I want people to interface with you and think, I should protect this person. This person is human. They deserve to be protected. Their heart should be protected. They should meet you and know that even you are a person who deserves to be loved and cared for. Until I see you in the next episode, have a fantastic week.